He heard a voice. Not from the sky, not from a dream, but from a broken cross hanging in an abandoned chapel. "Francis," it said, "rebuild my church." He froze. How could a simple man rebuild something that had lost its soul? But that voice didn't leave him. It changed him. And that's how a man who once loved parties, riches, and glory became the saint who spoke to birds, embraced lepers, and called death his sister. Before all this, Francis was everyone's favorite, the laughter of Assisi. Handsome, wealthy, generous, a young man who turned every street into a stage. He wore silk when others wore dust. He dreamed of shining armor, of fame, of songs written about him. But sometimes, beneath all the noise, he'd look at the stars and feel empty. When war broke out, Francis saw it as his chance to prove himself. He rode off in armor, his friends cheering behind him. But the glory never came. Instead came chains, prison, darkness. A year in a damp cell, listening to the moans of the dying, the dripping of water, the slow death of his pride. By the time he was released, the laughter was gone. Something in him had shattered. One day, riding outside the city, he saw a leper on the road, his face disfigured, his body rotting. Francis froze. The stench was unbearable. But then something deeper spoke within him. He climbed down, walked forward, and embraced the man no one would touch. The leper's eyes filled with tears. Francis said later, "What once seemed bitter became sweet to my soul." That one act opened heaven's door in his heart. Days later, he entered the crumbling chapel of San Damiano. Dust, silence, and a wooden cross. He knelt to pray, and a voice spoke from the crucifix. "Francis, rebuild my church." He thought it meant stones and walls. So he sold his father's goods to buy materials to repair it. But when his father found out, he was furious. He dragged Francis before the bishop and shouted, "He's stolen from me." Francis looked at him, trembling, then did something no one expected. He took off every fine garment, laid them at his father's feet, and said, "Until now I have called you Father on earth. But from this moment, I say only, Our Father, who art in heaven." And he walked away, barefoot. Francis wandered the streets poor, free, and full of peace. He begged for food, prayed with the poor, and preached to anyone who would listen. Soon, others joined him, men who wanted that same joy, that same light. He called himself the Little Brother. He saw no difference between man and beast, calling the sun his brother and the moon his sister. Birds landed on his arms. Wolves obeyed his voice. He didn't own a thing, yet he possessed the world. Years passed, and Francis grew weak from fasting and sickness. But his joy never faded. Blind and in pain, he sang, "Praised be you, my Lord, through Sister Moon and the stars." Even death didn't frighten him, he called her Sister Death. When she finally came, he smiled, laying on the bare earth, the way he had lived, humble and free. He whispered, "I have done what is mine to do. May Christ teach you what is yours." He left this world poorer than he came into it, yet richer than kings. Saint Francis of Assisi, the man who heard a voice and changed the world. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, and subscribe. Every saint's story reminds us that even the smallest soul can set the world on fire.